leaders. So excited to continue our conversation about inviting people to church, okay? Creating an invite culture that's not just an invite culture, it is a movement within your church. It's a movement within your community. And so we've been discussing the equation, the right heart plus the right activity plus the right amount of time always equals the right result. And so in our time together today, we're going to go ahead and focus on those last two, okay? The right amount of time and the right result. Now, at the beginning of this equation, those first two, the right heart and the right activity, those are ours. Like, we own that. I love Pastor Craig Rochelle always says that faithful obedience is our responsibility, but the outcome is God's. So the first two are those are us. Having the right heart, doing the right activity. But time, the right amount of time, I'm not in charge of time. You're not in charge of time. See, the thing is, I didn't start the clock, and so I'm not in charge of ending the clock. So time is God's responsibility. I'm in charge of how I use the time He's blessed me with, but the actual amount of time that it takes for something to happen with God that's Him. Now, the second part of that is the outcome. I don't know if this will be freeing to you or not, but I think I'll just speak transparently about myself. For many years, I wanted to own the outcome. I could control the environment. I could control the people. I could control everything, and I could produce an outcome. For many of you, maybe right now that's resonating with you. You're like, yeah, man, I really do think I'm in charge of the outcome. Well, I hope this is very freeing to you today, because here's the thing, and I hate to burst your bubble, you're not in charge of the outcome, but you are in charge of the right heart and the right activity. And so here's what I mean. I want to take you to a place where you can maybe see what God could do. Let's just use even numbers because it's really easy to do. What if you had 100 people coming to church every weekend? And you created an environment as a follower of Christ where you, as the leader of that church, modeled the behavior of inviting everyone you knew and everyone you didn't know. You were passionate about inviting with the right heart and doing the right activity. What if everyone in your church, including you, invited 5 people to church this week? That's a lot of people, isn't it? That's 500 invites that just went out the door that Sunday. So people pour into their community and they invite 500 people to church. Here's what I hope is freeing to you today with the outcome. What if you were horrible at it? Okay? Did you know that you could actually fail your way to success with this? 500 invites go out. You invite everyone you know and everyone you don't. And 90% of those people say, I'm not interested. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to know Jesus. I don't want to have anything to do with that. But 10% did. 10% of those 500 came to your church this weekend to check it out and see what God was doing. That's 50 people. Wouldn't that be a big deal? Wouldn't that be exciting to have 50 brand new people coming into your church this weekend? But you failed 90% of the time. But see, here's the thing. You didn't fail because the outcome isn't yours. The obedience is yours. Handing out the 500 invites, that's on us. How many people of the 500 show up? That's not on us. But what if 50 did? Imagine this, though. What if 90% of those people maybe didn't make a decision that day to accept Christ, but 10% did? That'd be 5 people in your church this weekend. That's simply because we had the right heart, we had the right activity, and we weren't in charge of time, and we weren't in charge of the outcome, but because we did those first two, 5 people in a church of 100 came into a relationship with Jesus Christ and became a follower of Christ. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Right heart plus the right activity plus the right amount of time always equals the right result.